So what is a fret lift? A fret lift is also called a barbed suture lift. It is a type of procedure where specifically designed sutures are used to produce a subtle but visible lift in the skin. It is a cosmetic procedure that improves, lifts, and sculpts the shape of your face or breast. Fret lifts use temporary medical-grade sutures to lift the skin. Until recently, the only way to address problems related to facial sagging and loose skins was facelift surgery. Doctors used to think that once loose skin is found, only a scalpel can be used to adjust that. It wasn't until the 1990s when doctors thought that they could lift face skin without invading the skin. They thought of using threads, insert them into the face, and then pulling the skin up by tightening the threads. Instead of removing excess sagging skin surgically, the doctor suspends it with stitches pulling the skin back slightly, and thus tightening the skin of the face and the neck. So moving to thread lifting. So what is a thread lifting?
Thread lifting is a minimally invasive method to lift sagging facial features for anti-aging effect. One technique is to use a thread to lift the shallow depth skin tissue. The other is to deeply thread, reaching the SMAS and lifting it.
So how is it different between other surgical facelift?
The difference between this thread lifting and others is similar to the difference between incision method and buried suture method in blepharoplasty. Because thread lifting is a method without incision that only utilizes a thread to lift. However, the lifting is weaker than normal facelift surgery. So it is mostly recommended for younger patients and can act as an entry into facelift through a milder, minimally invasive version.
How many threads are there for us to choose from?
There are many types of threads for lifting. We can divide into the thread types with barbs and those without. The monofilaments without barb are used close to the surface, and they encourage generation of collagen and fats to increase elasticity while decreasing minor wrinkles. The threads with barbs are embedded deeply, reaching the SMAS layer, pulling the opposite direction to decrease sagging skin and decrease visible wrinkles. The barbed threads have evolved to those that are beaded. For example, Silhouette Soft. The pulling strength is less than barbed threads, but due to its ability to simulate collagen growth, the results last longer. And the threads can be maneuvered better than the barbed threads, so it can be great for filling parts of the face that have sunk, not just for reducing wrinkles and sags.
Nice. So how long does a thread lift last?
While thread lifting does not require incision, depending on the type of threads, how many threads, and the condition of the patient affects how long the procedure lasts. The common threads that melt and disappear, the effect will last about a year to a year and a half.
How long will the recovery period be?
Thread lifting procedure is similar to a mild surgical procedure in terms of recovery. Depending on a person's body, the inflammation recovery varies, but in general, a day will be enough to get back to normal.
Okay. Are filler injection and thread lift effective method for improving smile lines?
Yes, smile lines deepen as we age. Using filling and threads is a combination to reduce the smile lines. Marionette lines is very effective.
Is it possible to have a thread lift to reduce necklines?
It is possible to use thread lifting to reduce neck wrinkles. The method involves lifting from behind the ears to pull and reduce the wrinkles. But if there is excess fat in the neck, it must be removed. In cases where the sagging is extreme, some tissue can be removed for better results.
What kind of clients should have a thread lift?
Younger people with slight sags, those with smile lines, mouth wrinkles, sagging jawlines, forehead and eyebrow area concerns. Also for those above 50, this procedure can be done prior to a full facelift as a preventive measure.
What are the side effects and risk of having thread lifting?
Thread lifting is a simple and safe procedure, so there are no dangerous side effects. There could be some inflammation, bruises and dimples. Inflammation and bruises can be subsided with cold packs and ice. Dimples result as a result of the threads being used too shallow, but they subside with massage or just left alone for about 2 weeks.
Okay. What kind of person is not suitable for a thread lift?
Those who have thick skin or have thick fat layers, the thread lifting effect is less effective. And those who are 60 and over, with ample sagging, mid-face lifting surgery is recommended.
So for our last question, what do you need to beware and pay attention after thread lifting?
In order to not untangle the threads, avoid full body massages, visits to the dentist where you would have to open your mouth wide, and lifting heavy items.
So that's it for today. Thank you, Dr. Kim, for joining us today.
감사합니다.
Thread lifting is a minimally invasive method to lift sagging facial features for anti-aging effects. One technique is to use a thread to lift the shallow depth skin tissue. The another is to deeply thread, reaching the smarts and lifting them. The difference between this thread lifting and others is similar to the difference between incision method and bari suture method in blepharoplasty. Because thread lifting is a method without incision that utilizes a thread to lift. However, the lifting is weaker than normal facelift surgery, so it is mostly recommended for younger patients and can act as an entry into facelift through a milder, minimally invasive version. There are many types of threads for lifting, which can be divided into thread with barbs and those without. The monofilaments without barbs are used close to the surface, and they encourage generation of collagen and fat to increase elasticity while decreasing minor wrinkles. The barbed threads are embedded deeply, reaching the smarts layer, pulling the opposite direction and decrease sagging skin and decrease visible wrinkles. While thread lifting does not require incision, depending on the type of threads, how many threads, and condition of the patient affects how long the procedure lasts. The common threads that melt and disappear, the effects will last about a year to a year and a half. Thread lifting procedure is similar to a mild surgical procedure in terms of recovery. Depending on the patient's body, the inflammation recovery varies, but in general, a day will be enough to get back to normal. Thread lifting is ideal for younger people with slight sags, smile lines, mouth wrinkles, sagging jawlines, forehead and eyebrow area concerns. Also, for those about 50, this procedure can be an option prior to a full facelift. Until next time, stay safe and see you once again at Icloud TV for more video on a wide variety of topics that may be of interest to you.